Now, where is the best place for you to leave your TFR? TFR is the money that your company remove from your salary every month and they are keeping it for you. So where is the best place for you to keep that money so that tomorrow when you need that money, they will not tell you story. Now, TFR is what we call Tratamento di Fine Rapporto. Now, you can either leave this money in two places. It's either you leave it with your company if you trust your company that much, although there's an advantage if you leave it with your company, and there's also a disadvantage which I will be explaining to you. You can say, no, I don't like my company, I want government to help me hold it. So government can hold it through Fondo Pensione, through IMSS. So there's also an advantage if you leave it with IMSS. There's also a disadvantage which I'll be explaining. And I will also explain how you can also get this money and the time you can actually ask for this money. Now, if you decide to leave it with IMSS, Fondo Pensione, with government, now one of the advantage you have is that tomorrow when you need this money, or when you are no longer working and you want this money from IMSS, IMSS will take tax of about 9 to about 15% that they will take from that particular money, depend on the amount and how long you have left that money with them. Then if you decide to leave it with your company, the disadvantage in it is that if you now need that money tomorrow, the government will take about 23% up to about 43% tax from it. So when it comes to the tax that they will take from it, it is better for you to leave it with IMSS, because IMSS, the tax is cheaper. Now let me make an example of about 10,000 euros. For instance, you have 10,000 euros TFR that you have saved with IMSS. So if you want to collect that 10,000 euros, IMSS, they are going to take, let's use 9% as the tax now. They are going to take 9% tax and they are going to give you 9,100 euros back. But if that 10,000 euro is with your company and your company there and you want to take it, they will collect 20, they will pay 23% to government and they will give you back about 7,770 euros. So if we give you 9,100, your company will give you 7,770 euros. So for that, it is better for you to leave it with IMSS. But IMSS also have its own disadvantage. What is the disadvantage is that now the rules and regulations that has to do with TFR is that you cannot take your TFR until you stop working, until when you go to pension. When you are not a pensioner, they can give you your TFR, or when you resign that you are not working again, they will pay your TFR, or when they sack you, or when your contract end. Maybe you have 3 months contract. As that 3 months contract end, they will give you your TFR. So that is the cases whereby they can give you your TFR. But government now also say, okay, in case you have this contract and you need money, you cannot say you are saving money and you are in need of money, you cannot go there and collect. The government now say, okay, if you need money, you can only come and collect from your TFR if you have worked up to about 8 years at the same company, at the same place. Not that you work 2 years here, you work 3 years there. No. If you have worked continuously and you have been keeping that money there for about 8 years before you can come and ask. And there are some situations that you must be before you can also come and ask. For instance, you have health issue. You want to do 1 or 2 operation, maybe you want to operate your teeth, or you want to go for a private hospital operation and you need money to pay for that service, and you have worked for more than 8 years, you have been saving that money for more than 8 years, you can come to IMSS. They will give you up to about 70% of that money that you have saved. Or maybe your wife put to bed, you want to buy baby things and all that, you can also go and collect up to about 70% of that particular money. But if you don't have any important reason, or you want to renovate your house, or you want to buy your first house, you can also go and collect up to about 70%. You want to renovate your first house, you can also go and collect up to about 70% of that money. But if you don't have any reasonable reason, maybe you want to buy a car, you want to go for vacation, you want to do your birthday, and you want to go and collect from your TFR, they can only give you up to about 30% of your TFR. But you must have worked for about 8 years. You must have saved that money with them for about 8 years. So that is one of the disadvantage. Now, if you leave it with your company, it's still the same process, it's still the same thing. It's still that 8 years. You must have been with that company, be saving that money there for about 8 years. But the only advantage you have with your company is that some company, they can still decide to give you even after you have worked for 2 years, 3 years. I've seen a lot of people that their company have given to them even after 3 years, after 2 years, because it is a company. If you have a very good boss, the company, the owner can decide to help you with it. That does not mean, and the owner can still decide not to give you that money until after 8 years. So even if you take them to court, you lose the case. So that is the advantage if you leave it with your company, that you can be able to talk to your boss and your boss will give you that money. But if you go to government, government will tell you no, that it is 8 years, it is 8 years before you can collect that money. Before you can collect that money for so and so and so and so reasons. If you don't have these reasons, you can only collect about 30%, or you wait until you resign, or till they sack you, or until you go for pension. So when are they supposed to give you this money? For instance, you are no longer working, maybe your contract has finished, or you just resign, or you don't want to work again in that company. They're supposed to give you this money within 30 to 45 days after your last contract expire, or after you resign, or after they sack you. Supposed to give you about 30 days to about 45 days, both for IMSS and both for your company. That is for private worker, those of you that are doing operating for private worker. But if you are working for for public worker, like you are working for government, you are working maybe at the hospital, community and all that, your own is up to about a year before they can give you your TFR. At times, it can even take up to about 2 years, depending on the case. But for those of us that are working with private company, maybe are working with Coca-Cola, Amazon, all those private company, if you are the one that resign and say you are not working, in that case, at times it can take up to about 2 years before your company can give you. At times, they can give you the money once, they can give you the money instrumentally if you are the one that resign. So your company can give you 1,000 this month, next month they give you 2,000, the other month like that. They can break it up to about 2 years if you are the one that resign yourself. But if the company that has sacked you or your contract expire within 30 to 45 days, they are supposed to give you that money both for your company and both for IMSS. So if you don't know where you kept your TFR, you can go back to your company and ask them, and they will tell you where you kept your TFR. So please share this video to get to so many people that are working here in Italy. And don't also forget to use tap send that everybody are now using to send money to Nigeria. If you put my promo code Heroes TV, they will dash you €5 when you are using that tap send for your first transaction. You can get tap send for Play Store or from Apple Store. Thank you and God bless you.